Okay. Well, hello everybody in the world of VSG. My name is Marvin Camillo. I am a first timer here. For those that are watching that are not part of the VSG group, that stands for vertical sleeve gastrectomy. Um, so, how do I start? Well, first of all, I was introduced to this by VSJ Warrior, Wizard, Wise One, my brother. I love him dearly. Um, we grew up together, and we were the fat kids in the neighborhood. I guess that's how you could say that. But so I don't know. I have to get adjusted to this, so I may be going in and out of like a whole bunch of different subjects. I could be a little bit of a sass, short attention span, but I'm gonna really want to make this work. I've watched several videos, very inspiring, and so you know what? Let's start from the beginning. So I've always been overweight. I was I guess what you could say about me, really was, I was the fat kid that didn't believe he was fat. Um, and I was very athletic. Um, if you were to speak to a lot of my friends, they would be the first to tell you that one thing about me was like I can get down. I can get down on the sports. Softball, football, volleyball, basketball. I didn't have a good shot, but I was good on defense. Soccer. I played a lot of soccer when I was a kid. You know, um, okay, hockey. I love hockey. I love watching it, but I never could get the knack for it. But I was always athletic. I was on my bike all the time. Um, played handball. Anyway, you get the gist. I always stepped up to the challenge. And like what I didn't have athletically, I had here in my heart, mi corazón, um, and and I always strive to be the best. And I could say for softball, definitely I believe I achieved that. I definitely was one of the best in my neighborhood at one point. Um, and I was always, I guess you could say, in my late teenage, young adult years, I'd say up until I was about 24. I honestly, I was hitting, I was playing a lot of sports, like I said, and I was working out. Um, I was hitting the scales anywhere between 217 and 235. Um, and then 1993, I got an office job, and in the beginning it was fine, but then like by 94, I started noticing I was putting a little weight. What happens? You sit in an office, you're doing work in an office. What do? You pick up the phone, you do delivery. You get food delivered to you. Or, in my case, the hot dog guy was outside, and if it was a busy day, you get a couple of hot dogs. Now, dirty water dogs are delicious and everything, and, and we know that they're good for you. Not. They're not very big. So you get two in the beginning. You're not full. So you go out and you get two more. So then it became like, fuck it, I'm just going to get four. And that's how it started. You get the Heroes or McDonald's, the devil. That's what I call McDonald's and really all of the fast food. But for me, McDonald's. I love McDonald's. I'm a McDonald's kid. But anyway, I lost my job in 95. And of course, I was having a hard time getting like real work. So I was 25 years old at the time too. So 24 going on 25. So what did I bury my sorrows in? Food. Junk food. Moved down to Puerto Rico in the summer of 95. And at first couple of years, actually the first year was really rough. Not rough. I actually was doing work on the house for my mom and stuff like that, in the backyard. We had a great 2 weeks because we cut down all the weeds because nobody was taking care of the back. We'll do little tasks here and there. Then I tried finding work, and it took me a year before I got a job. And when I got that job, I really busted my hump. So I actually was physically okay. I maybe was at that point, by 95 before I moved, I was up to about 260, 270. So I came back down to about 240, 235, 240 when I was in. But then after I lost that job, it was the name of the place was Mariachis. I lost it in 96. The owner sold the place. I once again I turned to my friend, food, to comfort myself, and then fast food is cheap. He started eating fast food, and then I got a job for a company called McRoberts, a security company. Did work at the construction site of the Ritz-Carlton. That lasted 6 months. No, it lasted a year. This was in 97. But again, at this point, I was already eating out. And I worked night shift, 3 to 11. What do? You don't want to, when you go home, you want to cook? No. But Burger King is open on the way. Burger King was 24/7s down in Puerto Rico. So, you pick up the Burger King. Okay? Then I got my dream job at the Ritz-Carlton. I got in. Worked for that company for 10 years. I'm very proud of that. Started off in loss prevention, security. Again, initially I was on the overnight shift. The hotel had its own cafeteria for the employees. And, the food was real good there. They took care of you. But, you sometimes you work and you're running around the hotel and you start serving yourself these portions that are like, wow. And this is Puerto Rico. So you had, pollo frito, arroz con habichuelas, y pernil, y everything fried, and the yuca, and the yautilla, which is all carbohydrates. Oh my God, man. My mouth is watering. But anyway, you eat it and you give yourself bigger portions and you don't realize it. And then you justify it by saying, well, I've eaten this much, since I'm not, I don't eat breakfast in the morning anyway. I know. Bad move. I'm wearing my lesson physically. Then I got down to the PM shift, 3 to 11:30. And what do? You don't want to go home right away. I'm a bachelor. Still am, ladies. Anyway, I'm a bachelor in Puerto Rico. I'm 28 years old now. I go to the bar down the block, Prime Time, for any of my friends from the island that are watching this. Prime Time, man. Good old days. And then Havana Club across the street. It would be so bad. I'd go there, I'd drink. My bartender, Brian Mendez, would just hook me up. Man, we were big wrestling fans. Monday Night Nitro and Monday Night Raw. We were, this is like 5 hours of freaking wrestling, watching, drinking. Sometimes I'd get out of the bar at 6 o'clock in the freaking morning. The hell, I'm not going to go home. I have to be at work at 3. I'll sleep in the freaking truck. Grab a bite at Denny's, which was around the corner. Of course, you got to get the Grand Slam, so you get the sausage, the bacon, and the ham with your eggs and your home fries and the pancakes. Okay? Now, I come from a household, and I'm sure a lot of you that are, I guess you could say, Latino, or of, actually, really, I know this is true to be with a lot of people from European household. Clean your plate. Okay? You're taught as a child. Nothing is to be left on that plate. Now, some people, because they're told about the starving kids in Africa and this and that, my mother's reason was, clean your plate because I say so. Anyway, and to say so pretty much, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't care less about the kids in Africa and India, but in comparison to my mother's say so. My mother says it, and I'm doing it. So, I'm eating all this shit, plus, you get a nice cup of coffee, pitcher of coffee, orange juice, and, all the good stuff, and then I would go to sleep in my car, and then get up at 1:30, 2 o'clock, shower in the locker room. My uniform is there. Grab something to eat at the Lion's Den, which was the cafeteria. Start my day at work, and then I would have my lunch period. Go figure. Full of beer. Sometimes I'd be half drunk working, because I'd be drinking all friggin' night. What does this do? And then on the nights that I didn't sleep in the car, of course, on my way home, I'm frickin' hungry, because I've had a few in me. McDonald's, Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken, later on, Pollo Tropical, which they try to say, oh no, that's the good food because it's Hispanic. It's all the same shit. It's processed and it's, So what happens? You start putting on weight, but you don't realize it. You don't realize it. I remember I would start having a hard time putting on my pants. I got down to Puerto Rico. I was wearing a size 42. Okay? Size 40 frickin' 2. Alright? Like I said, I was always a big kid, but I was never, it was, in my teenage to young adult years, prior to 25, I wore anywhere between a 38 and a 42. Okay? So, I started off in Puerto Rico on a size 42. All of a sudden, I can't fit into my 42s. So, my stupid freaking pride, I'll just get a 44. I was already a 48, but I'm squeezing into these fucking 44s. I used to have marks on my stomach that would cut it. Oh, my God. I still have some of, the indents. When I'm a little braver, I'll show them to you. But anyway, you deny, I put on 3-4 pounds. No, idiot, you put on fucking 40, 50 fucking pounds and you didn't realize it. You didn't realize it, and I'm talking to myself, honestly. And I kept putting on this weight. All of a sudden, I'm finding myself wearing a size 50 fucking 4. 54. I said, what's going on? My shirts were fitting me like fucking bras. I guess what I'm saying is, you don't realize it. And, I had to keep, embarrassing, I had to keep changing my frickin' uniforms. And, the hardest part is that first time that you take a look in the mirror and you don't recognize yourself. You look, you're like, who is that? My biggest joke used to be that I had, I used to tell the girls, ladies, I got a 4-pack and a keg. Because I could just never get rid of the gut on the bottom. But you know what? At one time in my life, I was doing 1,000 crunches a day. 1,000 freaking crunches. And some people are, yeah. you know what? As I continue to do these videos, one friend of mine that I want to bring in and sit with me is my friend Lou, because he was my workout partner. You know, and if there's anybody that testifies to my athletic ability, that kid has told people he's boosted me up, and Lou's like a little brother to me too. I love that kid. So I you know, I just didn't recognize myself, and I didn't want to admit what I was going through, and it took my friend Skender to come to me one day and just fucking flat out say it. I'm scared for you, man. What's going on? You've blown up, and it's like, what can I say to him? You're fucking seeing things, Skender. You know, of course I blew up. I just didn't want to admit it. You have to understand, you know, me and my friends, we've been rolling deep. I mean, my friends we're together to this fucking day. Okay? Our crew, you know, I guess I'm the oldest. You know, so I have a tendency to be the one that I like to step up and take charge, and you know, hey, we're good, guys, let's do this. Let's, you know, I'm the organizer. I'm the one that's always, you know. How could I be the example when I'm not frickin' a good example anymore? Okay? It kills me that what I've become. And listen, I don't hate myself because I'm fat. I hate it because it's so freaking unhealthy. I hate not being able to take my 13-year-old nephew to the park and throw the football with him and enjoy. I hate when my niece came down to Puerto Rico and spent a month with me, and she was so proud. She made it to the art design softball team. She went to my high school. Granted, I didn't go to that high school. Thank you, Frank. You know, my cup partner. I love you. But she was playing softball, and she wears my number, 19. And I couldn't. You know, we went to play catch. I could barely throw the ball. I couldn't even jump to catch the fucking ball. And I know that I could see it in her face. I could see that I let her down. And I never want to let my kids down. My nieces and nephews, they're my kids. I don't have kids. They're my kids. And, shit. Wow. I let her down. You know, her sister, her older sister, who's an incredible dancer, you know, she's inspiring me to get off my ass and dance. I just, you know, but it just, oh God, man, I let myself go. I don't know what happened, you know. So I mean, now I'm here. You know, I've done the diets because people think it's so freaking easy. Oh, just do this diet, Atkins, South Beach, you know, soup diet, this diet, that. I've lost probably 1,000 fucking pounds in the last 18 years. Okay? Don't sit there. Oh, you know, and oh, if you do 100 sit-ups a day, I can barely fucking get up off my bed right now. And you're telling me to do 100 sit-ups a day? You know how insensitive that is? And you know, and I don't blame anybody. I blame myself. I fucked up. I know that. You know? But this is why I'm here, you know. And I mean, I moved after my job. After I left my job at the Ritz in, 2008. I decided to come up. I moved back here in May of 2009. I actually opened up a club in Staten Island. I was starting, once again, I was, journeying to lose weight, but I was living an unhealthy lifestyle again. What was I doing? I had to go and be at this club. I had to leave. I live in the Village. Every day I had to get up to be at the club by 6 o'clock. Okay? Now, I would always get there by, 8 o'clock. And I would always get there by like 5, 6 o'clock, just to get things ready. I was partial owner and the manager, and I needed to be there every day. And, without going into details, it just that whole thing kind of blew up in my face. About 6 months later, we had to shut down. Anyway, but I was so dedicated, but I wasn't taking care of myself. And again, I wasn't eating right. And I was, and I would get home I would get home at actually crack of dawn, 6, 7 in the morning, because of course, if you miss one ferry, you're screwed, because they run on the hour. So anyway, I just, I was just overwhelmed, and I wound up, getting sick. But prior to that, I realized I need to have this procedure done. So I went to Bellevue. I met Dr. Parish, and I wanted the gastric bypass, but he convinced me to go with the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I was not going to do the lab band. Don't even want to get into that. Anyway, so yeah, I ended up going through the process, and this was like the second week of October. So I had my, we were getting ready. We had my appointments ready to go and see the doctors, and then lo and behold, the first week of November, I get a bilateral pulmonary embolism, puts me in the hospital for almost a month. So that kind of took me off track. So then I had to go through the process of now I wasn't working, and I couldn't work because I was weak. I still have my unemployment from Puerto Rico. Should I be putting this on to you? Anyway, and that was keeping me afloat for a little bit, but then I had to go to welfare, which was not a wonderful experience, and I had to, because I applied for disability, and I had to wait a year before the disability before I won my case, which is a whole other story, different blog. Okay, needless to say, this is what has been keeping me afloat. So then I went back by 2011, I went to Bellevue again, and we started on the procedure. They gave me a date, September 17th, 2012. I was very excited. They asked me to drop 75 pounds. 75 pounds, and I was about 10 pounds away when I came from my last appointment, which was September 2nd, and that's when they, that was with the nutritionist, I think it was, anyway, that's when they dropped the bomb on me. Oh, you have 2 more appointments that we forgot to schedule in. One was for, I think, an EKG, which that took 2 seconds, and then the other one was going to be for an MRI, which, of course, Bellevue's MRI machine, my shoulders don't fit, and they had me going on a mad goose hunt for an MRI machine that would work with me. Couldn't find it. Then Sandy hit, and that fucked everything up. Um, and I went into another depression. Um, so yeah, now, which brings me to here. I finally realized I needed to do this. Now, my peak weight was, the highest I ever got was 478 pounds. And this was while I was still in Puerto Rico. Uh, I just came from an appointment last week, January 23rd, because like I said, I'm starting the process again, but this time I'm doing it right. Uh, my weight was 450 pounds, which was great considering I was coming off the holidays, and I honestly thought that I was about 460 something. So I'm at 450 exactly, and they want me to lose 50 pounds. I had an appointment on the 2nd of February, Monday. It was for pulmonary, and it was then I had a group session, which was pretty cool. We talked about liquid calories, and I realized, that's something it's another challenge. I got two challenges: liquid calories, because I love particularly the Arizona sweet tea, and sandwiches. Love my frickin' sandwiches, man. I've so far, I know eventually I got to give this up too, because it's got it's sparkling, and after the surgery I know I can't drink this, but for now this has been helping me wean off. I actually like the orange flavor better. And yeah, so yeah, I'm at 450. I got to lose 50 pounds. They gave me an official date, July 21st, 2 weeks after my birthday. Go figure. And I'm going to celebrate the shit out of my birthday, but I will not have a drink. And I know I got to start my liquid diet that day. That's fine. While everybody else is drinking it up and having beers and this, I'll be sipping on a frickin' shake, a protein shake. But that's okay. As long as I got my karaoke, I'm fine. So yeah, I got to lose 50 pounds. I got to be at 400 by surgery. I know I can do it. And yeah, this is definitely, the warrior, VSG warrior himself, said this was very therapeutic, and sorry for the tears. I got a little emotional, but that's the first time I've really said what I said. And I'm looking forward to being a part of this community of the VSG, and yeah, and anybody else that's out there to support, great. And I have a lot to say, as you can see, because this is about a half an hour long. Sorry, it's my first time, but I definitely, I'm going to be hitting some interesting subjects. I'm going to be talking about, people understanding that, obesity is, it is a disease like any, like drug addiction, we're addicted to food, and it doesn't necessarily mean like we eat, it's how we eat the food. It's not so much how much, although that takes part of it too, but it's how we eat the food and what we're eating. And especially in this day and age, with all the freaking hormones and chemicals and shit that's being, we really, we all need to educate, and I'm definitely looking forward to educating myself, because I'm ready to change my life. I'm ready to bring back, physically, the Marvin that I knew 20 years ago. And with that, there's going to be a resurgence of, I guess you could say, my natural talents and abilities, and I know this. as jovial as people know me to be, it will be multiplied 10 times. So, again, I hope you all take something away from this as I did talking to all of you, and I look forward to continuing. And what is it? In Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, maybe we can all learn some. Whatever. Anyway, so God bless you all, and to those that are not, religious, that's okay. Good karma to you. And para mi gente en Puerto Rico, saludos. Te quiero mucho a todos. And I will talk to you soon.